So make sure that if you haven't done those, you do those on your own time. But today you will be doing 213 classwork. You're going to click on the check-in here, which I would also add to our Meet, this link, once we get it started. And so you begin. So it says, how are you feeling about being 6 weeks into distance learning? So we're officially, this is the 6th week, we're ending. If you still have work to turn in, you need to talk to me or send me an email and I will respond to you individually. I will also be addressing some of you who have a couple of missing assignments. So again, don't worry about that. And then I just want you to describe whether how you're feeling, how it's already been 6 weeks that you've completed online learning. And so you're going to type this into the chat to be marked present. So once you respond to this and I tell you, okay, I see that you wrote your response, you are marked here. You no longer need to be logged on to meet with me. You will just complete the rest of the activity on your own by watching this video, or if you need help, or logging back on to my meets if you need help. But it is expected that you will complete this assignment on your own. So for today, you need to first, before you leave, type your response into to the first slide in the chat. So I am feeling blank about finishing 6 weeks of school. You're gonna watch this video that I'm making to explain what you will be doing, and then finish all the slides in this activity. There are 20 of them, and you're gonna be completing this in your physical or on your online notebook. So I'll talk about that as well. Read the objective to know what you will be learning today. Students will be able to understand different interpretations of minus and how to represent negatives with algebra tiles. So the first thing that I hope you are able to relate to or recognize from this objective is the word minus. It's the main focus. So what does minus mean to you? So if you want to draw something about what minus means to you, an example, create an example of what minus means to you, you can draw it on here. And then here you can type your response, what it means, what words do you think of when you hear the word minus. When using algebra tiles, blue represents positive and red represents negative. You don't need to do anything for the slide except for read it. Same thing. Your introductions to algebra tiles in lesson 211 and 212 involved only positive tiles. Today, you'll look at how you can use algebra tiles to represent minus. Below are several tiles with associated values. Shaded tiles are positive and unshaded tiles are negative. So when you're working in your homework or in your classwork and you're working with paper, by shading in a tile after you draw it, that's how you would represent positive. And by leaving it unshaded is the way that you would represent negative. So copy these notes into your physical notebook. So if you're going to be doing it in your physical notebook, which I always recommend over the online notebook, but if you want to use the online notebook, then you will use the copy that I attached for you in the classwork. So when you go to the classwork and you open this, it will, this is there for you. There's a copy and it has your name on it. Now you need to make sure that once you're done with it, you copy this and you're gonna go back and paste it into your notebook. So for example, that's not my notebook. My notebook would be in the stream, which actually it should already be in there, but let's just, I'm gonna click on it. Okay, so then when you need to open your notebook, this is my notebook, but I would open my notebook and then I would go here where it would go after page 5, and then you would put file, it's not letting me, or edit, paste. And so do you see how I pasted it in here? You could put link or do not link. It doesn't matter. I think I would put link. And so then it's there, but I already had it on there. But that's how you would copy and paste it. Let's go back to the activity. But if you're doing it in your physical notebook, the only thing you need to worry about is adding a picture into your notebook, and that's it. Okay. All right. So what is the value of these tiles? You would type in your answer in here, and you would also write it in your notebook. What is the value of these tiles? The same thing. So you will continue to answer these questions. Then you will read this here to complete the rest of the next slide and the rest of your notes. So what is this tool called? What do we use it for? So you'll answer on here, type your response, but then you will also type it into your notes. This is called a blank. It is used to blank, okay? Do these examples represent the number 3? So here's the first example and here's the second example. Both of them, if you agree they do, then you say yes. If you agree that one of them does, but the other one doesn't, or both of them don't, then you say no. And the same thing with this one. These are 2 different examples. And do you believe that they represent the number 3? You're gonna add this response into your notebook as well. So if you're doing it by paper, by hand, you need to draw the mats, and then you're gonna type your answers, okay? And explain why do you believe. Next, you will create 2 examples. That's gonna be basically the end. So this is the example that I'm providing. Below are 2 different examples of how to represent X on an expression mat. So the first example is a positive X tile, and it's on the positive side. So it represents positive X. Now, if I go to example 2, because this is unshaded, that means negative. And you are probably questioning, why does this represent X if it's not shaded? You told me that non-shaded means negative. However, when you put something into the negative side, because look at where it's placed. It's placed on the negative side of the expression mat. So if I have a negative X on the negative side, it becomes the opposite of what it looks like. So what is the opposite of negative X? The opposite of negative X is positive X. So this also represents positive X. A negative and a negative here, that becomes the positive X, okay? So now you will do your own. In the space below, draw 2 different ways to represent negative 2x. So you, again, you would create however you want. You can draw it either free-handedly, or you can use this tool to create your x's. So however you would want to do it, that's what you're gonna do on here. And you will create 2 different examples. And then you will create 2 different examples for 3x minus negative 4. Expectation is to have at least slide 19 or slide 20. And that's kind of what's going to show me whether or not you're understanding what we're doing. Don't worry about getting it right or wrong. I just want to see if what you understand. Okay. So once you're done with this, that's it. You are considered marked done. And make sure, again, that if you did it on your online notebook, to add that copy or those notes into your notebook. If you did it by paper, then just add a picture into your notebook, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And then when you put it into the assignment, when you want to turn it in, all so it says 0. Instead of attaching anything, you just say it's on my online notebook. You just comment and say that, and that's it.